Good morning. It is 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in these great United States. Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, and your host for Hardison's Tips. Glad that you could be with me. Wednesday, June 24th, the month is gone. This year is halfway over, but we still need to keep grinding it out so we can reach our goals and our personal individual dreams. Now, speaking of sales, folks, let's get right to it so we can unpack it and get you on your way for today. In sales process, there's something that is there, but very, very, very much neglected. And that's called the early managerial introduction. EMI, if you've heard of that term. So whether you're a new salesperson, whether you feel that you're a veteran and you know it all, this early managerial introduction was placed in to do a few things that I just want to remind you of. We want to make sure that we're using team solution selling. Team solution selling. Not unheard of in our industry, not unheard of in sales in general, no matter what the vertical. If we're talking about key account, major account, up and down the street, in-home sales, team solution selling. So when you do your outstanding job of welcoming somebody to your store, your dealership, it's just a welcome. We do not try to combine a welcome with a needs assessment, with a qualifying, asking high gain questions. However, you heard that second step of gathering why the guests came. And today, many of them have done their research, and that's good. And they think, I repeat that again, they think they know what they want because they say, I want to see this unit right here. Well, we as professionals, we still need to do our job. So if I have a manager in my process that I can simply say, hey, boss, I'm with the Hardisons. Where did you get their name? From the greeting, from the introduction, from the welcome. We're going to my office, we're going to my cubicle, we're going to my area of operation to talk more about their needs, wants, and specific desires on a vehicle. It's a cue. You're giving your manager an opportunity, depending on your skill set level, but also for the guest to let them know as a manager, here's how we operate at our dealership. Brandon, one of our rising stars, he's going to just gather some information, select a vehicle for you, do what we call a product presentation walk around, let you take it out on the street, see if you like it. And when you come back, the manager, will handle the numbers. The manager, will handle your trade. The manager, will get you started with your financing. If you don't do it, I'm not saying you're not going to sell a car, but in that customer's mind, in that guest's mind, if you leave out that early managerial introduction, it's time for you to try to gather some information to put into your CRM. you're still going to be hit with, I need so much for my vehicle. I can't exceed this budget. Your competition across town told me X, Y, and Z. And depending on the courage of your conviction and how strong you are mastering each point of the process, you may become what we call a consumer advocate. Now, once again, didn't say that was wrong, but since I missed this early managerial step, my question to you is that where are you going to get your support, your lifeline? It's not your name that's up there on the dealership, it's somebody else's name. So what usually happens is that you get trapped into saying something like, we sold, I did a deal like that similar yesterday, whatever you saw online. My job is to greet you as a salesperson, ask you about your needs, wants, and desires so I can find that pressure point, what you're trying to alleviate, what they're trying to get some pleasure from, show you the right vehicle through a good product presentation, walk around, demo the vehicle, let the team members take over. Don't get involved with the money situation unless that's part of your process. I.e. Kelly Blue Book, when we talk about presenting a guest an ICO, an instant cash offer. Maybe that's part of your structure there. But here's where I'm going, and then we'll shut it down. If you forget the early managerial introduction, managers are busy, they're in a meeting, there's no stronger salesperson that I can hand it off to, and they can also assist you by doing an early managerial introduction. Please recap your investigation, your needs assessment, your qualifying, asking the high gain questions. Recap with the guest that you were listening by reciting back what they told you. You want this vehicle with this trim level with these packages because you said you. Make sure you at least recap. When it's time for you to leave them, because I now need to go talk to the manager, not go get the keys, talk to the manager, at least now you can say, well, hey, boss, I'm with the Hardisons. Here's what they said. Even though they were looking for stock number 1, 2, 3, 4, they said that they needed to have this particular package. They said that this was important to them. I was going to show them stock number 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think, boss? At least now, as a team, the manager heard something and may say, well, let's look at their vehicle if there is a trade involved before we show them any vehicles. If your finance manager is close by and he or she is hearing that, introduce me to your guests. Got some questions for them. Here's where I'm going, new salespeople. You're not in those managers' meetings. You don't know what's going on with the manufacturer, what they're offering, what's coming down the pike for the next quarter. You're not with that finance manager with the lending institutions, and they have a particular institution and have some type of special going. You're not in there. Why wouldn't you be smart and use team solution selling to the people who know a little bit more than what you do so we can do it right the first time? Just want you to think about that. And if you have the courage of your conviction to implement and try it, I guarantee you 2 things will happen. Your guests will have a better experience with you, giving you a good CSI. And for you now, that team, being new, used F&I manager, will have a better insight on you because they wanted to do the same thing you do, and that is move a vehicle. If this makes sense, hope it does. Brandon Hardison, host of Hardison Tips. Don't forget, 12 noon today, the 24th, we have a live special guest, Mr. Noel Walsh, and we're going to be talking about his Conquer You and some of the other great best practices that they do out there on the West Coast. So for the balance of the morning, as always imparting, going out and making a champion.